So namaste दोस्तों, thanks for coming to this video. And in this video today we are going to talk about studies abroad. अगर आप अभी currently इंडिया में हैं and आप aspire करते हैं वर्ल्ड के डिफरेंट कॉर्नर्स में जाके इंटरनेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट्स में स्टडी करने का, अपने मास्टर्स करने का, देन यू हैव लैंडेड अप ऑन द करेक्ट वीडियो. हम इस वीडियो में सब कुछ कवर करने वाले हैं. इनफैक्ट इफ यू आर पैशनेट, इफ यू वांट टू नो अबाउट वन पर्टिकुलर थिंग, देन यू कैन चेक आउट द डिस्क्रिप्शन. वहां पर मैंने टाइम स्टेप्स ऑलरेडी दे रखे हैं, सो यू कैन डायरेक्टली गो टू दैट सेक्शन ऑफ द वीडियो. So Nikita did his master's in business analytics from Singapore Management University, and currently she is based in Seattle, USA. So welcome Nikita to our channel, and thanks for coming here.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for the invite, and thanks for having me. And hi everyone, all the audience and viewers who are kind of watching this video today. And I'm quite excited to kind of share my experience with you all. So yeah, let's start.
So Nikita, I would just want you to just run us through your whole journey, like how and when did you plan for your masters, and how did you land then into Singapore Management University?
Yeah, sure, definitely. So actually, I did my master's, as you mentioned, and I started it in 2015 in August. And the reason and why I chose Singapore, I can tell you that about. But why I kind of started thinking about that I have to do my master's, not from India, but from like outside India, like abroad. So the thing was that I did my bachelor's from JP Institute from India, from Noida, in computer science. And while I was in fourth year, actually, I was never preparing for GRE. I was actually preparing for GATE. I wanted to do masters, like I wanted to further study after my bachelor's, and I was not kind of open to the hiring, like on campus hiring. But still, to had a backup, I kind of set in the Infosys on campus placement, and I had the offer, but I left it. They wanted us to join their campus like before the 6 months, like in last semester. A lot of my batchmates actually they went for the training, and
Okay.
then after the like soon after their studies in 6 months, they joined as a full-time employee. But I never wanted to do that. I never wanted to kind of work as a software engineer, and I wanted to kind of go further for my master's. So I started preparing, and I skipped that training, and I thought like even if I don't land a job, maybe I can go for an off-campus placement, and I will
Right.
start searching for another job. So the thing is, like, I prepared. I started even going to a coaching for GATE, and I prepared really well. But unfortunately, I could not manage to get very good ranking like in the GATE. And my dream was to get into IIT Delhi for the MTech, but I could not score that. So then actually made me realize, and I felt that maybe I should try for my master's. Maybe I should go for some universities abroad, not really here. And then I started my research, and I started applying, like not before even applying, I started like researching and made a list of like, I think 10-15 universities or even more than that,
Okay.
not only in Singapore but in US. So my first target, and the reason why I chose US, because majority of my friends who were in my batch and my year, they have already went for the masters in US universities basically. So that is where I also wanted to kind of go to US, but then the expenses were great, like too much. Like US masters is very expensive, and then on
Right.
top of it, it's two years, and also US is very far. Like now when I'm here, I can see that it's very difficult to even think of having a trip to India because it's very far. So that made me realize that why not I should try for some university which is near to India and near to my home, and also less expensive. So I came to know about this course, which is a Master's in Business Analytics in Singapore Management University. So this course is very special because this is the first course in analytics in Asia, which was started by Singapore Management University. And Singapore Management University is the first university which started this course in the Asia. So that is where the importance of this course is there. It's a very renowned course in Asia, basically, and especially in Singapore. So everyone knows the short form of this course is MITB, and it's
Okay.
very popular and very famous in Singapore. Everyone knows it. So somehow I gave my GRE. I cracked it. I got a very good score. And then I started like applying. I went through my university professors. I asked them for LORs. I wrote my SOP, and then I applied. And fortunately, I was able to kind of get into it. And I had an interview like before finally I got my offer. So this is how my journey of like entering into the masters came in. But yeah, like while I was preparing for GRE, because I never prepared for it during the last year of my university, so I had to take uh, sort of a break. So I was working in India as a software engineer for a year, and while doing the work, like while doing my job, I was studying for GRE, and I gave my GRE, I gave my interview, I applied for online, and then I got the admit, and I went to Singapore in 2015.
Okay. So Nikita, we can say that in a way आपका IIT दिल्ली में नहीं हुआ, वो ड्रीम नहीं
Yeah,
हुआ, तो that came out
yeah,
as a blessing. So coming on to the next question, Nikita, अब आप हमें ये बताइए that while selecting an institution, what all parameters should one like keep into focus? क्या rankings को सिर्फ
yep,
देखना चाहिए या फिर what all parameters
yep.
we should take?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not saying that ranking is not important. Ranking is definitely important because obviously, if your university ranking is too bad, it's like going to affect you in some point of time when you're looking for a job opportunity. Because when you go outside of India, there's no on-campus placement. In
Okay.
India, we have on-campus placement, but outside it's not on-campus placement. You have to apply by yourself. Universities help you in just internship part. Like for internships, they collaborate with companies and companies come on campus, but for full-time roles either you convert your internships or you have to find everything from scratch, like off campus. So university ranking is very, very important when you want to have a good job, because obviously the expenses are too much when you go abroad for the masters or MBA and
Right.
all. So to end, you need a good offer to kind of repay back whatever you spend in those 2 years or 1 year of your masters. But on the same hand, it totally depends from the course you are kind of choosing. Like if you are going for MBA, definitely ranking is important, but on the same hand, you need to also understand that how beneficial it is. And also same hand, when you make a list of 10 or 15 targeted universities, check out their alumni, like check out where the students of that particular course and that particular university, what they're doing in their life,
Okay.
whether they're working in any big company or not, whether they are settled or not, whether they're still struggling. So try to reach out to them through LinkedIn. I also did that. I reached out to many of my like seniors and alumni. I like even people do that. I have stopped getting messages. When I was in Singapore, I used to get a lot of such messages, but recently I stopped getting it. But still people ask me, hey Nikita, I'm like I got an admit from SMU, should I go for it or not, or those kind of things I used to get a lot. So basically you should also do, and that will actually help you understand whether you should go for this university or not, and what were their pain points, why they chose it, why if they suggest you don't like, then understand why they are suggesting you. So all those things basically will help you, because you will always be an international student, and being an international student the struggles are real. So you need to understand that what you're getting into and how it will benefit you.
Is there a minimum number that to how many international universities should one apply at a time? Is there any number 10, 15?
um, no, actually there's no hard and fast rule. There's
Okay.
no number that I can say just apply 10, just apply 15, right? Like, to tell you the truth, I just applied, like I made a long list, but because there was like application money, like I we had to pay for the application. We have to send the TOEFL and GRE scores individually to each universities, and
Okay.
the application money itself. So I did not spend much. Like I thought like I'm not wasting too many applications money. So I just applied to two universities in Singapore, and I applied to two universities in US. And like I was lucky that I got into one of those, and I got even one from US. So I'm not saying that you should just stick to like three or four, but on the same hand, just make sure that based on your score and your profile, like I think there are a lot of free tools out there online where you can access that. Okay, if I have this much score, this is my profile, whether I should be able to get into this or not. And there are few Facebook groups and forums also, so you can
Yes.
post their profile there, and you can like take their suggestion whether you will be able to get into these universities or not. So that is where basically you need to have an analysis that even if I'm applying to a higher level university based on my score and profile, the chances are less that I will get into this, so I should have a backup. And even that backup won't work, then I should have a backup. If you are like 100% sure that you will be going out or you will be going for studies this year, so that is your priority, and this is how you should strategize. And on the same hand, have a backup of like one or two universities which have a late applications or late
Okay.
deadlines basically. because deadlines also, if you miss the deadlines, you won't be able to apply, right? So
Right.
you need to make sure that you kind of keep track of it.
And Nikita, could you name any such tools, online tools, as you mentioned, for our assessing if our profile is good or not? Could you
Um,
name any?
I don't remember exactly the name, but actually I did that for Singapore Management University for this course. I posted it at one of the forums online, and through that I talked to one of the SMU like management people. He's like the head of some management for India, and
All
I
right.
talked to him, and through him basically I came to know about Singapore and then I did my own research. I'm not saying I believed him and then I got into it, but I did my own research after talking to him, and that made me realize that this university is like really good, this course is really good, and I should go for it. So this is where basically that platform or website helped me, but actually I don't remember the exact name of the platform. It was free, that site, and I just posted, and I never thought that I will get a reply or message on this particular thing.
All right. So next, if we go to the institution side, what
Yeah.
all things institutions see in a profile or in an application process from a student? So are there
Yeah.
extracurriculars which are really important, or does CGPA play an equivalent role?
So again, it depends on the requirements from university to university and the course basis also. For example, if you're applying to very top-notch university like Carnegie Mellon in US, right? Like or Duke University, definitely they will see everything. They will see that you should have a very good CGPA, you should have extracurricular certificates, activities, your SOP will matter, your LORs will matter, whom you are kind of having as your LOR people, like whether they are professors, whether they are from any other person, but they should be like big people because you are applying in Duke.
Right.
So those kind, and your score, so that is where that will stand out. If you have work experience, like if you're not going directly after your bachelor's, then your work experience will matter, and your LORs will also move from your like these professors to the people whom we are working in the companies basically. So
Okay.
all those things and recommendations and all those things will matter, and that is what university generally look. And then there's last step is like the interview process, because a lot of interviews, like I think majority of them actually take interviews also as a last step. So if you clear your interviews, I think they will kind of shortlist you.
And what these universities consider as a good CGPA and a good GRE or GMAT score? What is a good score according to them?
Yeah, so the good score, I think, for very good universities like, as I mentioned, Carnegie Mellon, Duke, and all these top universities for MBA, definitely they are looking for, I think, even more than 720, 730. But
Okay.
generally for MBA, especially, you need good experience also, because generally people who have more experience, they get into the good universities with good score. But if you're a fresher and you still want to go for an MBA, then you need a very good CGPA, because that will make you stand out as compared to the people who are on the same level. And also your projects, your internships, if you have done very good internships, maybe try to have like at least one of the internships from any of the abroad universities or colleges, or even in India, just have it from some of the top colleges or companies so that it can stand out. And uh, then, as I mentioned, SOP, that is really also very, very important, because you need to portray why you are applying for this university and why you want to go for your MBA or any other masters basically.
Is there anything one can do to compensate for a low CGPA or for a low score?
Then you have to work on your profile. I mean, I'm not saying that universities will reject you if you have a low CGPA. Definitely, that's not something. But I've seen people who have gotten into very good universities even though they were having very low CGPA. CGPA affect for sure. CGPA will affect you, but on the same hand, if you have done extracurricular work experience projects and made your profile so good that they can ignore your low CGPA, then it will be like more or less equivalent. But
Okay.
sometimes some universities do have some criteria, like because there was one of my very good friend, she had very good, like she studied from NSIT in India, she did her bachelor's. The issue she was facing that she had very low percentage in her university days in bachelor's. She had like around 50 to 60 percentage, what I remember. And whenever she used to apply for universities in US, they used to reject her. Like she used to apply in Duke and other top universities because she was aiming. So to compensate that, she did good internships in UK, in Germany, and I think somewhere else also. Like she did 3, 4 international internships, and she got into it. She worked really, really hard in her final year of bachelor's, and that made her kind of get into a good university, not a top university, but at least a medium level university in US at the end. So that is where basically you need to work hard, because obviously if you are lacking in one thing, you need to focus that still your profile stands out.
Right. So, in
Yeah.
nutshell, we can say that if we have good internships and good work experiences, then they
Yeah.
can somewhat compensate for a less
Yep.
CGPA. Okay.
Exactly. Yep.
All right. So, Nikita, जैसा आपने भी बताया that one should apply not for just one university but for a
Yep.
list of universities. And सबका application process अलग-अलग होता है. They
Yeah.
ask for different things. So, is there any need to hire some admissions consultant agency or something like that to help?
I have not done. Like I know many people do that, and me and my brother have not done it.
Okay.
The thing is that if you feel that you can't do your research by yourself, you're not good at it, you won't be able to apply on time, you won't be able to write good SOP, you won't be able to apply good recommendation letter, then you can hire these people, but be aware of whom you are hiring, be aware of whether you are in good hands, whether they can guide you properly or not, and whether you can get the right guidance. So that is where you should kind of work, because obviously these people take a lot of money,
Yeah.
but in the end what you are getting in return, that's more important.
Right.
So I'm not saying like you should not completely not go for it, but on the same hand, if you can do everything on your own, if you're good at it and you have confidence in yourself, then I think you should not do. You should just stick with your research. You should kind of make the list, as I mentioned, reach out to the alumni, or the people who are currently studying in those universities, talk to them. And every day, these people are very good. At least I know people whom I have tried to kind of reach out, they have always been very helpful. So if you try and if you research of your own, you will be able to do it, because already in the whole process, a lot of money is already kind of being invested. Like a lot of money is going in the GRE, lot of
Right.
money will go in the applications and everything, and then the fees, right? Like you need a lot of money for the fees part. So make sure that you don't invest the money, because uh, definitely there will be consultant who can guide you, and I think there are so many people out there already in the market, especially in India. But if you still think that okay, I can't do it, just go for any of these consultants, but research well, talk to them, compare, like just have like 3, 4 consultants, compare them, and then read their reviews, go for blogs where they have comments about them, because I know they can be like many fake people or people who can't
Right.
guide and just take your money. So be sure that okay, you are investing even 10,000 of your money, it should be in the right hands.
Okay. So we are almost at the end of this video. So Nikita, I just want to know that what are the major challenges that an Indian student face anywhere abroad, be it in any country?
Yeah, so the list is long. The thing is, you go anywhere, like in Singapore, India, Europe, anywhere. Struggle is that that country people and that country takes years and years to accept that you are not an Indian, but you are part of that country, because obviously in the end you have Indian passport, right?
Right.
So for to become or to kind of get hold of the whole thing, you need to kind of get a job, and to get a job in that country is very, very hard, because you don't have the visa, right? I mean, you need to get the sponsorship from the company, like whether it's in US or Singapore, the company need to sponsor you. And if the company don't have that ability, or they don't have that quota, basically they won't be able to sponsor you. So you need to make sure that you start networking before even you go and start your studies. So I started my networking before even I entered Singapore, and that really helped me. So there are just three words I won't like to tell you at the end of my video with things that do networking, networking, and networking. Even
Okay.
before you start your masters or MBA or anything, reach out to all the alumni, reach out to all the seniors, reach out to the people on LinkedIn, start internships, like start finding internship from day one, start researching for it, start do as many internships as you can. I did two internships in 1 year of course with my masters. Like I was studying uh, in like my classes were in the evening, and in the daytime I used to go to the office and I did my
Okay.
internships back to back. So do that, do as many internships as you can. Then I was doing a TA also. I was a teaching assistant also in the university. And in one semester I was an RA also, research assistant. So do as many things as you can. Don't leave any opportunity. Like just go out and talk to the people and take the best you can out of it, because in the end, that 2 years or 1 year of your life won't come back. And whatever you can gain from those years, that will be the golden opportunity for you. And you need to take care that whatever you are making out of it, in the end, you have a job before you're even like ending your masters. So I had a job offer before even I ended my masters. So
Okay.
that
So
is what
that's
you should
wonderful.
also have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Nikita, are there any other things also जो हमें यहाँ इंडिया में बैठ के नहीं दिखती, but when we go there, then we experience, like related to jobs
Uh,
and other things?
I mean, the thing is like people just post everywhere, and even like if you see my profile, you will feel that it's easy. You just take the master, you spend the money, and you can get. But I can just tell that it took me so much of hard work, so much of hard work, so much of networking, and so much of job applications that you need to keep on doing it, just don't stop. And because when you come out of India and when you stay in a foreign country, your money is spending, like every day you're spending so much money on food, renting, and everything else. So at the end of the day, you are like, okay, I want to have a job, but everyone has their own time and everyone gets it. uh, and I would like to say that each one of you, whoever is like applying for like any masters, MBA or anywhere, just check out like whether the you will be able to get the job or not in that country. For example, if you're going for masters in UK, chances are very less because of the visa restrictions that you will get a job after your masters. So
Okay.
go for a masters in one country where you can have visa and a job after your masters. So for example, like Australia, they have recently, because of the COVID, they have stopped the entry of the people, right? So and even like recently I came to know that they have restricted the PR process also, like they've increased the points. So do all those research which is important. So it's not that at the end of the 2 years or 1 year of program you have spent like 50 lakhs and you are like, we can't even get a job in this country, so you have to come back to India, and that degree of yours is not even valuable, right?
Right.
Like UK degree is not really valuable in India. So make sure that when you're spending your money, you have like the whole history, why you are going in this university, why you are going into this country, and at the end of the day, what is your ROI? I mean, I'm
Yeah.
using a ROI, but what is a return on investment that you're
Right.
putting there? If you will be able to get out your 50 lakhs or not. If not, then choose something else. Wait for some more time, maybe wait for 6 more months, and year more, apply again next year. But just don't go for the sake of just getting out of India and just doing a random master's from a random university and having nothing in return.
Okay. So my last question, Nikita, आपने सिंगापुर में भी काम किया है and currently you are in USA, आप वहाँ भी काम कर रही हैं. So can you tell any qualities of people related to work ethics that we Indians can learn from Singapore and USA? Maybe at least one each from them.
Uh, the major difference and the ethics, what I can see is that Indians generally spend a lot of time in just like having tea break, like evening breaks and
Okay.
all those things, which I generally don't see in US and Singapore. And especially for Singapore, Singaporeans are workaholic. They just work till late night. They work whole day, and they are so hardworking people that like like the difference was I can see. But when you compare with the people who are working in Australian culture and in the US, it's like after 5 p.m. no one works, like neither in Australia, neither in US. But if they're working from, like for example, from 9 to 5 or 8 to 5, they just work. Like their focus is work. They won't take like 2 hours of tea break, or they won't like just hang out. They will just focus and they will work and get their work done, and they will leave early basically. So they enjoy, they are like, we will work these 8-7 hours, but we will work like perfectly, and then we will have our own day. So that is where I can say that the whole difference of the work which I've seen and noticed from India, Singapore, and US.
Right. So thanks, Nikita. It was wonderful talking to you. It was really insightful.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for having me on your channel, and thanks a lot for having this video. Thank you.
Sure. So if you are new to our channel, just hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to like the video and share it with as much people as you want. And I would be linking all the social media handles of Nikita in the description. So just go there and just explore and follow her. So let's meet in the next video. Till then, stay happy, stay focused. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.